Hey, welcome back to the program here on Coastal Daybreak on the talk station FM 107 and AM 1240. We've been looking forward to talking to our next guest because we know how difficult a subject it is for anybody, and much less for parents when they're talking with their teens. Our next guest is Tom Gilson. The book is called Critical Conversations, A Christian Parent's Guide to Discussing Homosexuality with Teens. We welcome Tom to the program. Good morning, Tom. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
How is the weather in Lebanon, Ohio?
It is just barely snowing. It's just around freezing.
Now, you just made Mandy very jealous here, our producer, because she's been waiting for some snow here in eastern North Carolina. We don't get it very often.
No, not there.
All right. Well, tell me a little bit about how did this book come about?
This book came about because of my concern for parents and for teens who are being really bombarded with a message that Christianity is bad and evil and false because it takes a stand that that gay marriage is wrong, same-sex marriage is wrong, and the associated morality is wrong, and that because Christianity takes that stand, therefore Christianity is hateful and wrong. None of this is true. It's a confusing message that teens are getting. The parents don't know how to help them sort through. And in fact, Christianity isn't evil, bad, or wrong for taking a stand. I'm convinced it's on the right track.
Yeah, you know, Tom, I think I see this all the time. There seems to be so much pressure on kids, very young kids, to make a declaration about their sexuality long before they've made a declaration about what college they're going to go to or if they're going to go.
Yeah, even on the web yesterday, I saw a school that's calling on kids to look at it in kindergarten with some of the books they're reading. So, yeah, it isn't just teens, but teens are at the age where they're really making some of the most final life choices and really able to talk to their parents through some of the issues. So I focused the book on that group.
Yeah, and these days, like you said, it gets younger and younger. In fact, sex permeates our society at the youngest of ages. I mean, I think you've got to talk to your kids about sex before you talk to them about Santa. I think it's a different world.
And parents don't know how to do it, especially with this topic, which is a perfect storm of all the awkward topics. And that's why I think that giving them help is a timely thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, now let's talk about, you've arranged this book to be essentially a workbook, but also a source book for parents. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, the first part of it focuses on how we got to where we are, the controversy over what marriage is in particular, and how the movement arose that questions it, and some of the best answers both from common experience and from the Bible. And then I talk with parents about how to handle the whole issue relationally with their kids, right, with the kids, with other classmates, and so on. And then the last part of the book is a series of answers to some of the common challenges and zingers that get thrown at Christians, like you're a hater, you're homophobic, and so on.
Yeah, and that is indeed a real challenge, and I think as a pastor myself, I think we always have that problem, and we in church don't do this very well. We don't talk about this very well.
No, we don't. And actually, I'd be fine with pastors picking up the book too. So I think it'd be helpful for pastors and youth pastors to look at how these questions come at us and just to think through. In most cases, the answers are really quite simple. Some of them are a little more complicated, but all of the answers are available.
Now, how much of the confusion is over maybe co-opting of terms? And what I mean by that is that one group or another, and I'm not singling out this particular group, but one group or another may use terms differently than we have used them conventionally.
Yeah, I would say homophobic is a good example of that. Phobia refers to an irrational or out of the ordinary fear or aversion, and I'm considered homophobic because I disagree. Right. Disagreement is not part of the definition of a phobia. I'm not afraid. I don't have a personal aversion to people who are same-sex attracted, but I've got a label slapped on me, a medical label, because they've co-opted that term.
Yeah, and I think this extends in lots of ways, too, whether it's even just the word gay or you talk about love. Love has certainly been co-opted in all our society.
Yeah, if I say that that I love a man, I'm suspect. My daughter came home from school a while ago and said that I really love, and she named a friend who's a girl, and then she said, but not that way. Well, I didn't have to throw in that disclaimer when I was her age.
Yes, that's right. I mean, we kind of understood that there were different. I mean, we actually kind of intuitively understood different kinds of love, but they all get lumped together.
They do, and so you have to, and it's actually making it difficult for same-sex friendships to develop into the full extent that they could be.
Absolutely.
As friendships.
Absolutely.
It.
For example, for two guys to be really close and good friends, whispers start.
That's right. And it's not helping friendships, even though it's claiming to be love.
No, and in fact, it increases the separation. I think that agenda has made relationships worse.
That's right. But I don't want to just blame the gay agenda for this. We really started.
Oh no, we have our own issues with that. Yeah, right.
With marriage, a long time before the same-sex marriage advocates picked it up and kept following the road we were taking them on. It comes back to biblical understandings of what it means to be committed to one another as man and woman, and keeping the physical relationship in that context with the idea of building a family and a community.
Now, one of the things that you address in your book, and I think it's going to be important, again, talking to Tom Gilson, the book is called Critical Conversations, A Christian Parent's Guide to Discussing Homosexuality with Teens, is our teenagers and early 20s and all like that are encountering different ideas than maybe they were raised with in schools and in colleges, and how are they going to make that relationship with their professors?
Well, if they're in a secular setting, they're going to encounter, for the most part, professors who are fully bought into a pro-LGBT agenda. And really, if it comes up in class, they need to follow the advice my friend Greg Kokel gives, which is to use caution and recognize that they are outgunned in there. So the thing to do maybe is to ask questions, but not to get put in a position where they have to defend in class. That's not because it's wrong to defend, but because there are better strategic opportunities at other times.
Yes, this is coming from Tom Gilson, who is a senior editor for Apologetics, so you know a little bit about defending.
I do, yes. Yeah, and I work with the Stream. I want to mention that, stream.org, a conservative and Christian-oriented website with daily news and insight and commentary. So I do work with apologetics, and I'm not afraid to do it, but I want to do it when it's going to be effective. All
right. Again, the book is Tom Gilson's Critical Conversations, A Christian Parent's Guide to Discussing Homosexuality with Teens. Now, you talk about this being for parents and for pastors and for others who work with teens. What about resources for them?
Well, I think that there's a good list of good books on this topic. My favorites are, probably I would go to one which the title of it's going to escape me, but it's written by Sean McDowell and John Stonestreet, and it's basically sensible thinking about gay marriage. And that's a good one. There's another one that's on a more technical level by Robert George, Sheriff Girgis, and Ryan Anderson, called What Marriage Is. And these are things that you can, these are resources you can go to. Another great author is Michael Brown, to understand the whole issue in greater depth than I go into it in my book. My book is designed to be very parent-friendly and relational-friendly. These give more of the technical background.
Now, your book also gives a possibility for people to look up pro-LGBT views.
I don't think it hurts to know what the other people are saying. I think that's helpful.
Yeah.
And parents, they're in a position where teens are thinking they're out of touch and don't know. And it doesn't hurt for parents to know what the other side is saying.
Again, the book is called Critical Conversations. Is this out and available everywhere now?
It is, yes. Online. Should be in bookstores. Definitely online.
All right, Tom, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Tom Gilson, again, joining us this morning, and the book is called Critical Conversations. We'll have more to come in a moment here on Coastal Daybreak.